I remember one time I was down in Acapulco, and Patty got to where the point that she got to where she didn't want to fly anymore. And believe it or not, it was on Friday, the 13th January for 1986, I believe is when it was. And I had gone down to go deep sea fishing. So when I got down to the seashore, what they do, they were backed up to this high concrete wall, and as the boats would come up like this, rise up with the tide, you'd jump in the boat, and then it'd go back down and rise back up. Well, they had people jumping in and everything, and everybody was in the boats, and they were leaving. And pretty soon there was no boats there, and there I stood with this Mexican guy. Where's my boat? He said, Senor, your boat's Barracuda 4 will soon be here. I remember Barracuda 4. I said, well, who did I fish with? And he said, Senor, you get to fish all by yourself. I said, hell, I'm not going out there and fish all day by myself. He said, well, everybody else has gone out. I said, well, I want to go back to the hotel. He said, the van doesn't come back till 5 o'clock this afternoon. I said, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. I said, I'm not going to stay. I said, I saw an old car or two up here in this village while. Let's walk up there. So walked up there, and I said, tell some of these boys I'll give them $20 so they'll take me back to the hotel. So a couple of these Mexican boys jumped up and said, we'll take you back. So I crawled in the back seat of this car, and these two Mexican boys, which was crazy, they could have taken me out, shot and killed me. But I got in this car, and they drove me back to the hotel. And when I got back to the hotel, I thought, well, I'll go down here and play some golf. So I went down to the golf course. Of course, they were aerating the greens. Golf course was closed. I said, well, that won't work. Well, I knew they were sailing a pirate ship around. They were going to watch the kids jump off of the cliffs, the high dive. And so they said, no, all the tickets were sold on the ship. Couldn't sell anymore. I said, well, hell, that's not going to work. So I said, well, I'll just go back up here to my room. So I went up to my room, and the light was blinking on my telephone, and I picked it up and said, you have a message, you need to call your son Tim. So I called Tim, and Tim said, Daddy, said, you need to come home. Said, Earl Gettlefinger died, and you got all this insurance on him, and they want you to be a pallbearer. Well, I said, okay, well, let me see. I was supposed to fly out Sunday. Remember, this is Friday the 13th. So I went downstairs and told him, I said, change my tickets from Sunday to today and call me up when you get them changed. So in about 15, 20 minutes, they called me, and they said, your tickets are ready. And I said, okay. And so I went down. I said, how long till the flight? And they said, about 45 minutes. And I said, well, God, let me get a cab. So I went out and jumped on a cab, went to the airport. That's before all the security, and I just ran through the airport, gave them a ticket, hopped on the plane, and flew out. We're flying into Dallas, Fort Worth, and they had an ice storm, and it was all frozen in and everything. We had to circle and circle and circle and circle. So finally we landed. And so then we finally run through and got on there. How many people are going to be on an airplane flying into Knoxville, Tennessee? It gets at 10, 11 o'clock at night, dead end flight from Dallas, Texas. The plane was full. And so I started to sit down. My seat was in 10C, which is by the bulkhead on the aisle. And so I sat down. About that time, this guy tapped me on the shoulder and says, you're in my seat. And I said, no, I've got this seat, 10C. And so the stewardess come by, and she looked at it, and she said, but your ticket is for Sunday. This is Friday. And I said, oh, hell, I thought everything was okay. And so I said, let me tell you what happened to me today. So I told them about the fishing trip, and about the golf not being there, and about the ship being there, and then my best friend dying and everything, And then this guy sitting beside me, he's one of these guys that holds on to the bottom of his seat when he flies, He's there all waiting for the flight there. And he looked at me and he said, mister, I don't know who the hell you are, but I wish the hell you hadn't got on this airplane. Well, anyway, they took care of me. They put me up in first class and wined and dined me all the way into Knoxville, and so I finally got home. That was one wild trip home.